Handball is played with 6 players and 1 goalie. To start the game of handball, the 2 center players will approach and shake hands. They will play rock, paper, scissors. The winner will pick up the ball, tap the floor, and say game on. You can pass backwards or you can pass sideways. The first pass cannot be forward. After a successful goal, the defending players will retreat to the center line. Offensive players will take the ball to the center line and restart the game. The player with the ball taps the floor and says game on. Defensive players in handball do not need to remain still. They do, however, need to be 1 arm length away. Players have 3 seconds to throw the ball. When catching the ball with 2 feet planted, you are allowed to take 3 steps. At the end of your 3 steps, you are allowed to pivot. If a player catches the ball in the air, there is a 2-step leeway. You are then allowed to take 3 steps. In the event that 2 players go for a loose ball and are still on their feet, they will play rock, paper, scissors to decide possession. In the event that both players go down on one knee, they will play rock, paper, scissors to decide possession. If only one player goes down on one knee, the ball stays with the player with 2 feet planted on the ground. Players must remain on both feet to keep possession of the ball. In handball, you are allowed to perform a bounce pass, a direct pass, and a rolling pass. If a player makes an incomplete pass, anyone is allowed to retrieve the ball. In the event of a turnover, players must go to half. Players are allowed to intercept the ball in the air. Even if the defensive player tips the ball to the ground, anyone is allowed to retrieve the ball. Players are allowed to use a jump shot so long as they release the ball before landing in the crease. After a jump shot, the player must leave the crease without interruption of play. If a player lands in the crease before releasing the ball, this is an unsuccessful jump shot. If the ball is thrown out of bounds at the end line, this is the goalie ball and players must retreat to the half court. If the ball is thrown over the goalie, this is goalie ball and players must retreat to half court. Even if the goalie tips the ball out of bounds, it remains goalie ball and players must retreat to the half court. Even if a defensive player knocks the ball out of bounds, this becomes goalie ball. Players retreat to half court. The idea of this rule is to speed up gameplay. If a defensive player accidentally enters the crease, they must quickly get out without interruption of play. If a defensive player remains in the crease and gets in the way of gameplay, this will result in a penalty shot. If an offensive player steps into the crease while making a goal, it is incomplete. It is now goalie ball, and players retreat to half. If the ball is in the goalie crease, any player can pick it up so long as their feet are outside the crease. In this scenario, when the player went to retrieve the ball, they placed one hand on the ground inside the crease. A goalie is allowed to reach outside of the crease to retrieve a ball, so long as their feet remain inside the crease. The goalie can also be on the ground and reach out of the crease. A goalie is not allowed to exit their crease to retrieve a ball. This results in a penalty shot. Starting at the crease, 3 steps away, goalie on their line, front foot planted. If a penalty occurs, the opposing team takes the ball and from the crease takes 3 steps away. All players must be behind the throwing player. They must have their front foot planted when they make the shot. The goalie must be on the goalie line. If the goalie pushes the ball out of the crease, anyone can pick it up. We hope this video has helped, and we look forward to seeing you at the tournament.